The death toll in Sri Lanka has risen to 310 after violent terror attacks on Christianity's holiest day. We're learning more tonight about those victims, among them at least 4 Americans, including a Denver man who was there for a business trip, and a 5th grader from Washington, D.C., who was studying in Sri Lanka. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Nikki Lorenzo.
And I'm Joe Khalil. Eric Harriman has the night off. Tonight, we're also learning that Sri Lankan officials, they've arrested 40 suspects in these attacks. Halfway around the world, residents there are just now waking up to the news that the country's president is declaring a day of mourning. Now, I want to give you some background here on these attacks. There were 8 coordinated blasts that went off at churches, luxury hotels, and some other locations, all during Easter Sunday services. Officials have declared these terrorist attacks, apparently targeting the country's minority Christian population. Less than 10% of the people there are Christian. Leaders around the world are denouncing these bombings and offering condolences to the country of Sri Lanka. These attacks also being felt by people from Sri Lanka who are now living here in the United States.
They say government censorship and communication blackouts have made getting in touch with their loved ones very difficult. Fox 40's Doug Johnson joining us now live at the Cathedral of the Blessed Sacrament, where a candlelight vigil was held earlier tonight. Doug.
Well, Nikki, not too many people came to that candlelight vigil, only about a half dozen people or so. But those who are from Sri Lanka tell us that having just that good faith, that gesture of goodwill, really does help comfort them in this time of tragedy.
Well, I was extremely shocked and upset.
Raghu Saranthram is a Sacramento State student from Sri Lanka. He learned of the attacks from this frantic text message from his mother. Very bad bomb blasts at St. Anthony's Church, other churches in Hotel 2, several other places in Colombo.
I was a little confused. I didn't know, maybe it was an accident or it couldn't be 5 bombs.
Saranthram says his country has already seen its share of violent attacks during a 26-year civil war, which ended 10 years ago. Still, he says the terrorist attacks on Sunday were surprising because of whom they targeted.
In my country, Christians, that community is a very peaceful community. They have no beef with anyone or no kind of conflicts going on between them. So,
but with news of even more attacks on a hotel, zoo, and homes in other cities, Saranthram started to worry about his family and friends.
I've been having a hard time trying to contact them because what Sri Lankan authorities are doing, they have completely handed over the country to the military, and you guys need to clear out whatever that's happening. So they have scrambled all the networks, the cell phone lines, everything.
Meanwhile, at the Cathedral of the Blessed Sacrament on K Street in Sacramento, a half dozen people came out to light candles for the more than 200 people who lost their lives in the attack.
I was really heartbroken with the tragedy that happened in New Zealand a couple weeks back, and when I saw this, it just was like all over again.
After a few hours, Saranthram heard back from his family.
Last night I got a message from my mom saying, okay, we're okay, don't worry about it too much.
How good was it to get that message?
It was very relieving. It was very relieving.
Yeah, and that student you just heard from, he tells us that there are a lot of other Sri Lankan students who are here in this country studying, who are also having a similar problem trying to get a hold of loved ones and friends and family back in their home country. And of course, that's all because of that government blackout. Reporting live from downtown Sacramento tonight, Doug Johnson, Fox 40 News.
Doug, thank you. And the